weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfucker.
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
By the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the machine. I am Brandon. Thank you for joining me tonight. Matt is not with us. He had a scout meeting to do tonight. I mean, he could have just told me he didn't love me anymore, and, you know, I'd have been fine with it, but no, he's got a meeting. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because we had a problem last week where people couldn't hear us. So, test. Well, we've got some interesting stuff to get to, and of course, most of it is going to be about the state of Illinois as of right now, but we'll be starting with other things, like, you know, the whole Biden gate thing going on and stuff like that. Mr. Al, we need someone like him again. We need to go back to those times. Oh, fuck me. Here we go again. All right, hold on. How about now? Because I'm going wide open again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I honestly don't. I have no fix for it. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Well, what about now? I mean, I cranked it up. I don't know what's going on with the whole audio thing. We haven't figured it out yet. Well, it should be better because I got it damn near, the slider's damn near over the top of the board. I mean, that's how much power I'm pushing to it right now. We just don't know why we're having that issue, and it's unfortunate. There's a bug in the system somewhere. There's always one. It's just how things work. Technology is friggin' wonderful. But anyhow, like I said, we've got some interesting things to get to tonight. Of course, dealing with the Biden stuff and with the lovely state of Illinois, otherwise known as California. I don't have any hearing aids, so I can hear you good. Well, I don't have any hearing aids either, and I actually need them. I don't think it's that, but I'll check it. Actually, you know what? I'll do that while we're on break. Let's see. Because it's actually screaming at me right now. That's weird. Anyhow, okay, so let's fucking get started because I don't want to deal with this again tonight where I have to sit here and figure out the bugs in the radio. I'll do that as we go so we can get going with what the lowdown is, what's happening here. Let's see, put that. Well, of course, you've heard probably by now that, Mr. I am, protective of those classified documents, and I would never do anything. People should be, prosecuted for screwing up with them and stuff like that. Well, they just found him in his former office. They found him in his fucking garage. They're finding him all over the place now. So I wonder how hypocritical this might be. But I mean, you got to see hear the excuses that they're trying to give for the reason why this is going on. I've heard everything from people that are loyal to Trump planted him in all these places, and well, he doesn't understand. He just accidentally moved them and stuff like that. I mean, we're hearing all the excuses in the book. The problem is that none of them are sticking. But I've got the audio of the president himself talking about it, and of course his rather useless press secretary. But we'll go with the president's first.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay.
Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, we're going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage. Okay, so it's not.
Well, the car's in a locked garage. I mean, so the garage is locked. I mean, there's no big deal having classified documents in the family garage. None at all.
like you're sitting out in the street.
So
But at any rate,
was in a locked garage.
yes, as well as my Corvette.
make
But
sure
as I
it's
said
totally-
earlier this week, people know I take classified documents and classified material seriously.
Yeah, seriously, to private offices in your home, in your garage, and wherever else you feel like leaving them at that point in time, right? Okay.
I also said we're cooperating fully and completely with the Justice Department's review.
This is where it starts getting funny because you can tell when he's being pushed and when he doesn't have a leg to stand on, and he's got to pull that bullshit out. So here we go.
As part of that process, my lawyers reviewed other places where documents in from my time as vice president were stored, and they finished the review last night. They discovered a small number of documents of classified markings in storage areas and file cabinets in my home and my personal library. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn Center. The Department of Justice was immediately, as was done, the Department of Justice was immediately notified, and the lawyers arranged for the Department of Justice to take possession of the document. So we're going to see all this unfold. I'm confident. Thank you very much.
Interesting, isn't it? I mean, he honestly couldn't. Turn my light down a little bit here. It's blinding the piss out of me. Obviously, had no leg to stand on there, so he, of course, immediately stammered and didn't. I mean, his defense is beautiful. His defense is just unbelievable. I mean, it was in a locked garage. It was next to my Corvette. Like that's supposed to make you feel any better about the situation. I mean, this is the same guy that told all of us that anybody who screws up and has these at home or anything else, or has misplaced them or put them somewhere, they need to obviously be prosecuted. Well, let's see. Hey, Zach, how are you? I was actually thinking that's the sad part is the whole Porky Pig thing. Yeah, because it fits perfectly. So thank you, JT, for reminding me of that. I mean, the guy is just,
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung.
He fits right in with that one. Well, Don, we know he's corrupt beyond imagination. We've talked about that since long before he became president or even decided to run again, on how corrupt the Biden family is, and that's spanning over a decade of us talking about it, right up to the very first election of him, and so we know all about it. But here's the thing, it's rules for thee and not for me. That's just how it's going to run. I guarantee you right now, they could literally have him sitting in his garage, holding classified documents, reading them aloud, and they would still say, "Well, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. This never really happened, and he's not going to get charged with anything. Nothing's ever going to come of it." I can guarantee you right now, they are not going to do anything to him at all. Zach says, I mean, at least it feels like a little tide shift happening. I know not to get too thrilled, but at least it's something. You're right. Yeah, right. Well, we usually call that getting thrown a bone. So, occasionally we get something like, oh, here's a bone to show that we're really going to take care of business now. And then they take that bone away, which we're going to be talking about, actually. But you're absolutely right. Let's see. Wow, Brian, your comment just now popped up. It's weird. It just now popped up, but it's halfway up the screen. That's. Quit shaking your leg. The camera's shaking. Hey, it's something I do. It keeps my mind off of realizing that there's thousands of people watching me at this moment. Have you ever been to one of my speeches? I run back and forth. I dart back and forth, and I'm constantly fidgeting because I don't like it. I'm not. I you know, as many public speaking engagements as I've done, it's still extremely nerve-wracking to me, and it's the same thing with this. I know you guys are watching. Okay, I know thousands of people are watching at this point across multiple platforms. So, you know, I kind of do like the nervous thing. I shake my leg, whatever else like that, especially when I'm agitated about the government. Yeah, Mike over there in our hosting service of Spreaker says, I think we all know Biden will never get prosecuted for this. Absolutely, that's what I said. You know we're on the same page as that. yeah. I can punch holes through floors with how fast my leg moves sometimes. It is what it is. That, and I've had a lot of freaking coffee, and I drink nothing but dark roast. So you know, you do the math on that one. I mean, my heart already feels like I'm running a mile because I've drank like, you know, half a pot of coffee. Let's see. Constitutionalist, holy shit, haven't seen you in forever. Where the fuck have you been? I mean, I thought you just didn't love me anymore and you took off. That's terrible, but hey, nice to see you again. He says, Garland makes too much money off the liberals to do anything to pedo Pete. You're right about that. Yeah, it's the ADHD thing. Yeah, smart ass. Oh, look, a squirrel. Yes, I kind of got that. You act like you got to go pee all the time. No, I act like I'm going to jump through the fucking screen all the time. That's my issue. And see, look, as we're talking, I'm trying to control it right now. Look at my leg. It's, you know, it's it's still going. But since we listened to the president, wait till you hear what the press secretary says about this. I mean, it's magical. It really is.
The president said he takes classified information and materials seriously, and as we have said, we have cooperated from the moment we informed the archives that a small number of documents were found, and we will continue to cooperate. We have cooperated closely with the Justice Department throughout its review, and we will continue that cooperation with the special counsel. We are confident that a thorough review will show that these documents were inadvertently misplaced, and the president and his lawyers acted promptly upon discovering of this mistake.
Inadvertently misplaced. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter that it's in one office or this office or that office or in multiple different offices and in his own garage, but, you know, it's inadvertently misplaced. I know when I handle classified documents or important documents like that, I inadvertently misplace them in multiple locations. Sounds right, doesn't it? I mean, was that what you guys would do? Would you be like, you know, hey, well, I don't know what this is, so it's going to go in the garage. And, oh, wait, I got 3 or 4 offices in multiple homes. I'm just going to kind of put them around wherever I feel like. In my own personal library, you know, wherever I feel like. I know, that makes you nervous, doesn't it? JT says a small number were found. How many do you assholes lose? They lose quite a bit, apparently. And yes, Brian, I know at Sam's Club is selling Black Rifle, so is Walmart, which is the same friggin' thing, only Sam's Club is like industrial Walmart. Yeah, that she is. She is completely full of shit, and we know that, and we deal with her constantly. In terms of press secretaries, I mean, we've seen over the last, I would say over the last 20 years or more, some interesting press secretaries, but so far she's been the worst. And that's saying a lot. That's mind-boggling. I mean, the Bride of Chucky was pretty bad, but this girl is just out of her league. I'm sure she's a nice woman, you know, and I'm sure she's good at what she does outside of this, but this is just not her gig. It's not. Yeah, they haven't been delivered to the Chinese government yet. No shit. Hey, Christine, it's nice to see you. Welcome to the show. You're probably going to be surprised at the foul language and and the jokes and stuff like that. But hey, welcome to the show. Constitutionalist, that's awesome. Appreciate it. We do have a good time here, by the way, just to let you know. And as soon as we go to break, the song is going to give away what we're going to be talking about probably for the rest of the night. But I mean, in terms of the whole, classified and top secret document stuff, what is it going to take to prosecute any of them that have a D in front of their name? I just wonder, because it seems to be that they'll go after anybody with an R or even an I, independent or Republican, but they leave the Democrats alone. It seems like they're just, untouchable. We've seen that throughout the years, most specifically in our, most recent lifetime with the Hillary emails and this. And there's been a few other incidents, but I honestly don't have them on my drive. So, what do you guys think? We went to, that's Bride of Chucky, to the Chia Pet. Oh, geez, he called her a Chia Pet. That's ruthless, man. Come on. She's a bit of a dingbat, but I don't know about a Chia Pet. But party foul. I am out of coffee. So I guess we're going to move on to the next. We'll just go with some rye. It's Zach says it's going to take the act of God. I keep asking for that. Honestly, where is the this asteroid that we were promised? I've really got to know. It's been a good ride. I absolutely love, I love my life, and I do occasionally love the world, I guess. But it's been a good ride. So let's just end it on a high note and stop before all this madness really collects together and sticks. Because, I mean, look at the state. Not the state as in, the state that we live in, but I mean the state of the world right now. Look at how nasty this actually is. Seriously. I mean, you got people that get, completely butthurt if you don't call them the right pronoun. You got people that think that, oh man, I'm not going to get into this because we went to this last week and it went way off the rails. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, and you got stuff like this where people like you and I are considered the problem because we like freedom and we pay attention to the Constitution and what it teaches us and stuff like that. So we're just these evil people because we don't let everybody run over the top of us. Yeah, you are a little late, Sean. It's good to see you, though. Uh-oh. My numbers just dropped again. YouTube's on to me. YouTube's on the attack again. Yeehaw. JT says both parties work together to cover each other for the major damage. It'll take the people rising up or an outside influence. We're already seeing the outside influence. Of course, we're being told that we are the ones doing the outside influence when that's absolutely not true. We're exposing the outside influence. That seems to be a problem for them. And you're absolutely right. They're, they're left wing, right wing, whatever. Same fucking bird. And, just like with, with all the things that are going on, not just here, but throughout the world, this is a big shit sandwich and we don't have to take a bite. But like I said, seriously, where's the fucking asteroid? I mean, I'm okay with it at this point. I have made my peace. But JT says, I am a proud nail in the paved road of anti-Americans, I hope. That's the thing, is we're not the anti-American. We are the American. And that's what they don't understand and they don't like, is that we are still, at the end of the day, we're still American and we're still people. But they really, I'll get into that here in a minute. But they honestly believe that we are, the law-abiding citizen is the problem. And here we are, especially in this fucking state, which we are definitely going to be getting into really shortly. And yes, fuck the tube. We've been trying to branch out, but unfortunately branching out is expensive. So we're stuck on certain platforms at the moment, but we will be getting out there soon. So, yep, we're going to take, I keep saying we because there's usually somebody else here, just to let everybody know who just started listening to the show. Matt's not here. But anyhow, I will be right back.
Don't tread on me. Those are words that I stand by, homie. It doesn't mean I'm gangster, it doesn't mean I'm country. It means that my life is in my hands only. I don't have money for security, I don't have armed guards that I keep snug around me. You don't think I deserve protection like you do, and that means you don't give a fuck about me. Gated community, that's what you live in. Hatred and mutiny, that's what we live in. So come down here and hang with us for a minute. See if you leave with the same fucking opinion. Who's gonna help me out if I get robbed? What if somebody were to beat up my mother? Who's gonna be there to save our lives? You? Nah, me, motherfucker. I'm the only one that's got my back. It's dog eat dog, these are not no cats. There's cops in Michigan that can't even respond to their calls because their cars ain't got no gas. Great. Police don't have any fuel. You don't know if they'll arrive when you call them. Their babies are starving. My girlfriend can't find a tampon, and yet somehow you and I are the problem. Somehow. I've never bought a gun without having my background scanned and approved. The only loophole I've seen on a gun is the one that you put a fucking lanyard through. It's not true that you can go to the store and just swipe your card and get a Glock and run. It's funny, the people that say that shit have literally never even shot one. Dumbass. Hey, Matthew McConaughey. Shut the fuck up. Just cause you've murdered people on screen doesn't mean you know shit about guns, you dumb fuck. What, you're worried about us? What about all of those violent movies that you played? How about you go talk to Alec Baldwin before you start telling me what to do, okay? Uvalde? I was horrified by it. That's your hometown, you were born right by it. It probably cuts deep and I hope that it does, cause you work in an industry that glorifies violence. It's more your fault than it will ever be mine. Lord only knows how many crimes that you've influenced throughout your whole career, cause I've seen you kill people plenty of times. What do you think is gonna cause a shooting? A YouTube video of a gun review? Or a Hollywood murder scene that seems so realistic it looks like it's from the news? So next time that you wanna point your finger with a stupid opinion and chime in with it, remember, it ain't me that they're trying to be like, dog. It's you that they're trying to mimic. I feel way more safe in a place where the people are legally armed. If something happens like a mass shooting, I have a way less chance of being lethally harmed. A criminal is gonna think twice if he knows everybody is a piece underneath their clothes. And Mayor Lightfoot will probably tell you different, but have you seen Chicago? And no, before you ask, I don't wanna be like Canada either, and I don't wanna be like Australia. I'm sick of everybody using them as a humanity meter. There's a reason that they can do whatever they want to their citizens, like fucking throw them in camps. And there's a reason that our government doesn't even try that shit, cause they know that they can't. If you don't think for one split second that if we didn't have our Second Amendment, the government wouldn't overstep its boundaries and make us do shit even when we're against it, you're out of your mind. I don't give a damn where you stand or how or what you vote. That's dandy and fine if you trust Uncle Sam, but I, for one, fucking don't. And why would I? What have they done? Give me a reason for me to believe them. They want to trade me a little security in exchange for a big-ass piece of my freedom. They don't want to take away guns because they care about you and they want to keep you safe at night. They want to take away guns because it's easy to control people if they don't have any way to fight. Hey buddy, what your little AR-15 gonna do when the government comes to take it? Well, Ukraine started handing out rifles to all of the citizens when the Russians invaded, so what about that? I thought it wouldn't help. I guarantee that it'd be better than nothing. I hope it never does, but if the day comes, I bet that you're gonna wish that you had something. This is the only country on earth where the people have real strength. And nowadays, with all the shit going on, it's the only thing that makes me feel safe. If there's anything that I've learned in the past couple years looking back at the pandemic, all of the shit that we have is fragile, and it could snap at any second. Fuck all of the politicians. I don't trust anything they say. Take the word gun out of gun control, and that's all that it is at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck how crazy you think that I look or I sound when I say this shit, but our Second Amendment's the only thing that stands between us and a dictatorship.
You, sir, are not one of my vassals. Who are you?
I am the machine.
What? I'm the machine! Okay!
You are listening to The Machine Radio Show.
Not your daddy's conservative talk radio.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm the machine! Fuck that bitch. This is America! Fuck yeah! Tonight you party with us, yes?
Okay! Yeah! Yeah! Ah, skate!
It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Aren't taxes like a subscription to your country that you can't cancel, no matter how bad the service gets? This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show. Now tell me that shit isn't true, though. But in our case, it's the state of Illinois. I mean, we keep paying all this money, and we keep wanting more and more, and we still get the bullshit, which is basically what we're going to be talking about now. Obviously, you guys all know about the gun control bill that just went through. Yeah, it's not going so well for them. The sheriffs are really starting to get in an uproar about it. But first, let's talk about the purpose of the Second Amendment. Or just talk about Second Amendment in general. Because I don't think they understand what it is. I really don't. I don't think they get it. Even when you hand them one of these. You know, we've literally done that. I have actually handed these to politicians at our state capitol. And they still get it wrong. I mean, it's even a single sentence. They made it as easy as possible for them to understand. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. How do they miss that? How do they screw that up? Can anybody explain that to me really quick? Yeah, he'd be dropping people in their sleep. You guarantee it. Because he did. You know, that's something that a lot of people don't know about George Washington, is that he was very ruthless, actually, and very good at his job. They seem to forget that he was actually a general. But I want you guys to explain to me, one of you explain to me how they get this single sentence. It's right here in this little book. How did they get it mixed up? How do they not know what it is? Especially the last part of it. I mean, it clearly states the right of the people to keep and bear arms should not be infringed, but there was a politician in Illinois that says it doesn't say that people have an individual right to firearms. And where does that? She actually said, "Where does it say that in the Second Amendment?" And the guy's like, "The people, the right of the people." And she still did not understand what the fuck he was trying to say. It was mind-boggling to listen to this whole exchange. I mean, she literally said, "I don't, it doesn't say, where does it say in the Second Amendment that the individual right?" And he's like, "Well, it does say the people." He says it over and over again. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Everybody got the duck sauce rocking. No, Christopher, they do not care. They do not give a damn. And they probably never will. But that's why we're here, and that's why we're going to be talking about it as much as possible. I mean, there's been multiple instances throughout history, throughout our history, that solidified what the Second Amendment is and what it entails and why it's important. And it's still just as important today as it was then. I mean, like Samson said in that song, take the word gun out of gun control, and that's all that you got is control. That's all that there is to this. And it's no different here in the state of Illinois. Selective understanding, that's why they mangle the language. That's from Christina. Absolutely, you're 100% correct about that. I like that you know that. And I don't know why I pointed that way, because the fucking camera's right there. Okay, I got to explain to you something. I have 3 screens here. And this one over here actually has me on the screen right now. I can see myself, but it also has the chat. That's the reason why I keep looking over to my right instead of looking directly at you, because I'm trying to read what you're saying. And then I've got, information over here and information over here. I rarely use the left screen, but it's still there. So if you ever see me going like this and going, yes, and pointing at it, it's because I'm an idiot and I forget where the fucking camera is. Oh, no, Drone. No more duck sauce story. We've talked about that so much. It's starting to lose its luster, man. Thanks, Shockwave. More important things to discuss. But like I said, I mean, let's go all the way back. I mean, even this, back into the into the 18th century once again. One gentleman even described the Second Amendment as the last coup de grace, and that was Luther Martin. If nobody knows who Luther Martin is, I can get you a link and I can put it in there. But he described it as the last coup de grace, and this would enable the states to thwart and oppose the general government. It also ensured, we'll go with it later. We'll get into that. Oh, please, no more duck sauce. I don't have any duck sauce. Unless, of course, you want to grab the duck sauce. I think Jerome just likes the duck sauce. That's why he keeps wanting me to tell him the story. Story knows the story because I told the story. I didn't fucking say that quickly. We'll get to it eventually, but right now we're talking about the Second Amendment, how badly we're getting fucking boned here in the state of Illinois. But like I said, I already mentioned Luther Martin, but let's go all the way up into let's say modern times. Let's say 2008. Okay. The scope of the Second Amendment was finally found, Presser versus Illinois. We talked about, I've mentioned that before. The Supreme Court held the Second Amendment prevented the states from prohibiting the people from keeping and bearing arms. This was, I believe, the Presser versus Illinois. When was that? I think it was 19th century. One moment. $1886. Holy shit. Yeah, okay, so I forgot about that. My apologies. No, I'm not putting hot sauce in perfectly good bourbon. That's sacrilege. We don't do that. Yes, I am that bold. Hence the cover. Anyhow, I need to get back to what I was doing here. But, like I said, Presser versus Illinois, you could look that up too, especially if you're in the state of Illinois. Like I said, the Supreme Court held that the Second Amendment prevented the states from prohibiting the people from keeping and bearing arms, but yet here we are today. There was another one. United States versus... 1929. Hold on. I'm thinking of it. Oh, man, what was that? 1929. I remember the date, or the year. Can't fucking remember it. United States versus Schwimmer. That's what it was. United States versus Schwimmer. See, I even wrote down some of it on here, but I didn't write the name of it. That's how I had to remember it. Supreme Court cited the Second Amendment as enshrining the duty of individuals to defend our government against all enemies whenever necessary arises as a fundamental principle for the Constitution, and hold that common defense was one of the purposes for which the people ordained and established the Constitution. Absolutely. Then you can get into 1939, which is United States versus Miller. Prosecution under the National Firearms Act, which was 1934. The NFA, of course, you know why the NFA was brought on, because of the Chicago gangsters. Seems like everything comes from fucking Illinois. It was the Chicago gangsters that got us in trouble with the fully automatics and stuff like that, where we couldn't have them anymore, like the BAR and the Thompson and shit like that. Holy shit! I gotta go backwards. Puckle gun, you all look it up. Yeah, JT's not wrong. The puckle gun was before even the Second Amendment was ratified. All laws against the Second Amendment are illegal, should not be infringed. We absolutely. Let's see here. I'm going to go back to my notes that I hastily wrote before I got here. But remember, with United States versus Miller, I mean, the Supreme Court actually avoided addressing the constitutional scope of the Second Amendment by holding that the possession or use of a shotgun. Listen to this. This is important because this is something that should be brought up and has been brought up, at least by me and several others, when we've stood in front of Congress or in front of politicians or anybody else like that, and stood our ground. The Second Amendment the scope of the Second Amendment by merely holding the possession or use of a shotgun having a barrel less than 18 inches in length was not any part of the ordinary military equipment protected by the Second Amendment. Let me reread that again for you. The shotgun was not part of any of the ordinary military equipment protected by the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment states that we are supposed to be able to have what the fucking military has. And I'm sorry, Sean. Use both screens. I apologize to my listeners over there that are talking in Spreaker because I fucking forgot. I'm sorry. There's usually somebody else here reading your stuff. I'm doing the main screen with the multiple chats. So I apologize for that. I realize you're still there. I prostrate myself before you and beg for your forgiveness. The Federalist and Anti-Federalist papers agreed to centralization and consolidation of big government would be the destruction of our liberties. Absolutely. And if you want to read about the Second Amendment part of that, be 21 through 39. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I've never studied it. I've never even seen the book that's on my desk at my shop or anything. We are living in the biggest government in history. In fact, we, if you remember correctly, we just got 87,000 new IRS agents. And suddenly, because of the state of Illinois doing what they're doing, they're trying to get more Illinois State Police out there because they might be using those to come against us. And I will be talking about what the bill is and breaking it down a little bit too here in a little bit. Of course, that'll be after another break. But right now, we're talking about how this works. And then, like I said, let's go to modern times. 2008, District of Columbia versus Heller. What did Heller say? I mean, was it Antonin Scala held that he said that the Supreme Court, like I said, I randomly just put these down, was the central component of the amendment that the District of Columbia's prohibition against rendering any lawful firearm in the home operable for the purpose of immediate self-defense to be unconstitutional. The Supreme Court also affirmed previous rulings that the Second Amendment ensured the right of the individuals to take part in defending of their liberties by taking up arms in an organized militia. However, the court also emphasized that the individual's right to an organized militia is not the whole institutional beneficiary of the Second Amendment guarantee. What that means is they are also talking about your right as an American to be able to have one on your person to protect your property, your life and your property. That the Heller decision was very important. So was Bruin. Bruin was very instrumental in what we should be dealing with as of right now. The McDonald decision as well. McDonald versus say Chicago. Held the right to possess. McDonald versus Chicago was the Otis McDonald. May he rest in peace. He was such a good man. I was very blessed to meet him at one of our outings. Just an awesome guy, and a major fighter. Guy was a beast. But, the 5-4 majority held that the right to possess a handgun in the home for purposes of self-defense is applicable to the states through the 14th Amendment Due Process Clause. But like I said, that's McDonald versus Chicago. Then we got Bruin. There's multiple other ones we can go through. Holy shit. You guys are killing me, man. There's too many chat rooms here. My brain's shorting out. I'm only one guy. Need a special guest. I'm extra talky tonight. Yeah, how much booze have you had? I'm only having so much because I'm by myself. Heller was awesome. Like I said, Heller was a good one when it comes to DC itself. McDonald was great when it came to Chicago. Bruin, New York. There's several others out there that I have listed. I just forgot to bring the list. Bunch wife is gone. Oh shit, we got a liquored up drone in the oh boy. Lock up your daughters. Just kidding. Let's see. I'm gonna find, I got to break this up a little bit, so I'm gonna find his song. If Sean's still with us, maybe I'll play something for him. He seems to like Slayer, but then who doesn't? Yeah, we'll do this one yet, and then we'll play Slayer for him in a little bit.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say? brother. I said.
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome. Enjoy the show.
By the way, just so you know, for the people who are just now joining us, thank you for joining me, by the way. I am by myself tonight. But those of you who are new and those of you who are just joining us right now, I do play a lot of death metal. So I guess you're going to have to get used to it. Let's see. I'm going to get back to where I was at here. You know, there's a few things. Like I said, we're right now. Oh, my dear Lord. Why is my phone going off again? I'm not talking to you. I don't know who you are. Okay. You know, this is going to be a respectful reminder because apparently the oath seems to be lost on the establishment here, especially in the state of Illinois. You know, because just remember, members of the General Assembly, you know, officers, you know, executive, judicial, whatever, you know, everybody has to take the oath. And what is the oath? Well, I got a copy of it right here for those of you who might want to know. You know, you do solemnly swear or affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution. This thing right here. Support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, as long as you continue as a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, the duties of the office of, you know, whatever they decide to be, to the best of your ability, so help you God. That is the oath, obviously, for them. We have a different oath. We've taken it. We know. We are not playing Nancy again tonight, son of a bitch. Prickster is obviously wow. Prickster is obviously virtue signaling with his anti-second two-way rhetoric because not many projectiles can penetrate 72 inches of blubber. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have a real hard time, especially with some of the things that he says on the medical front. I have a hard time taking medical advice from a man that wheezes when he walks, but that's just me. But, you know, back to the Second Amendment and why we were talking about it specifically with the state of Illinois. But let's talk about, you know, the Founding Fathers and what they actually thought about it. I mean, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, James Madison, Benjamin Franklin. There's a lot of quotes out there that people need to know and why they said such things. Specifically, well, here, I got a few of them right here. Alexander Hamilton. The Constitution shall never be construed to prevent the people of the United States who are peaceable citizens from keeping their own arms. By the way, one of the dumbest fucking arguments I've ever heard a leftist ever try to use against me is it doesn't say guns in the Constitution. It says arms. I'm like, oh, dear sweet baby Jesus. Don't read, okay? Because you don't know what that word means, even though they tell you it's even in the fucking dictionary as to what it means. Thomas Jefferson, the strongest reason for the people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is as a last resort to protect themselves against tyranny and government. Well, here, another one from Thomas Jefferson. The beauty of the Second Amendment is that it will not be needed until they try to take it, and which is exactly what they're fucking doing today. But, you know, to them, what they're doing is they're doing the greatest thing ever. They're protecting everybody from these dastardly firearms that are, you know, the weapons of war. They keep using that saying, weapons of war. There's not a fucking army on the planet that has ever fielded an AR-15. Holy shit. And then you got some of their people who, you know, they're glad about this bill that are trying to tell me that anybody who owns one is a murderer. The only reason why we want them is because we want to murder a whole bunch of people right now. That's bullshit. That is a fucking stupid thing for people to say. But we'll get to that here in a minute. Here, I like this one from Thomas Jefferson, too. Laws that forbid the carrying of arms disarm only those who are neither inclined nor determined to commit crimes. Such laws make things worse for the assaulted and better for the assailants. They serve rather to encourage than to prevent homicides, for an unarmed man may be attacked with greater confidence than an armed man. No fucking shit. If that wasn't such a big damn quote, I'd be putting that bitch on a t-shirt. I still might, just for the hell of it. Disarm the people, that is the best and most effective way to enslave them. James Madison. A free people ought not only to be armed and disciplined, but they shall have sufficient arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government. George fucking Washington. Those who sacrifice liberty for security deserve neither. Benjamin Franklin. I can go all day with this shit. I have got so many of them listed on here and so many reasons why the Second Amendment is important even in modern times, but they do not listen to us. They do not understand. They don't care. I have stood in front of them before and done this. I was there for conceal and carry. Did we get conceal and carry? Yes. Do I have conceal and carry? Yes. Is it what we tried to get from them? Absolutely fucking not. There's still so many things put in there that need to be changed. We don't have a castle doctrine. We don't have any of this. This is the state of fucking Illinois. Or as we call it, California. JT, can't get much more clear than the words from founders. You're absolutely fucking correct about that. See, I'm starting to get agitated now. This shit's getting on me. Safety over rights is what they claim. No, that's what they claim, but it's not what it is. It used to be fined for not going out without a firearm. This is true. You used to also be able to put a firearm in your vehicle and go to school and not have a problem. Now you get booted out for 5 days for wearing a shirt that does say Smith & Wesson on it. I've actually seen that. Oh, you're right, JT. And you know damn well I deal with them on a daily basis. I've been dealing with them all fucking day over this bill. But we're going to get it. Like I said, we're going to get into the bill. We really are. But you know, as the Illinois Freedom Caucus said, tyranny wins in the legislature with passage of the unconstitutional gun control bill. It's not just unconstitutional on the federal level; it's unconstitutional on the state level. If they would read the fucking constitution of their own state, but they do not do that. They don't give a shit. All they want is control over you, over me. This has nothing to do with your fucking safety, especially with the firearms that they're trying to block. I mean, everything is considered an assault rifle. Everything is considered high capacity if it even has a fucking magazine. I can go on and on and on about this, and I probably will because we're going to be breaking down the bill. Chris says, when I was in high school, we were allowed to have guns in the back windows and still go to school. Right. But then again, Chris, I remember, you know, when I went to high school that I could leave my wallet on the dash, the keys in the ignition, and the fucking windows down and not worry about my shit getting stolen. Now I have security cameras surrounding me at all times. Cause and effect, JT, cause and effect. That's the whole thing. JT says, I'm happy to become what they make me out to be if it comes to that. I'm not going to, you know, get into that, but I'm going to say that is, you know, the truth is they, you know, the cause and effect, they see the effect. They never see the cause. They don't understand that the cause is them. The cause is what they're doing to us and how they're making us less safe. They think by taking away a scary black gun, which mine is not black, you'll be seeing it here in a minute. Yeah, I brought it with me. I brought a bunch of them with me, actually. But, you know, they think that particular firearm and, you know, and what, you know what, let's just, I'm going to, fuck it. I'm getting to the bill. Where the fuck is the bill? There it is. Okay, so let's get started with this one. Or should we, you know what? Should we get started with this or should we take a break? Because this is going to fucking take a while. Seriously, this is going to take a bit. I lost my page. I'm not fucking playing Nancy. That was last week. We played it last week. We can't play it again. Not for a while. See that's not gonna help me because it's not gonna keep my anger up. I need to keep my anger up this time. I will get you the song later, but not today. I think I'm gonna go with Slayer just because you guys are aggravating me. Yep, I'm gonna go with Slayer. I'll be right back.
Hey lefties, liberals and progressives, this is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy, wow, we about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm going to need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. And I'm back, and boy, the numbers dropped when I started playing Slayer. I mean, man, that's terrible. It's going to happen. Hey, like I said, I'm not going to play Nancy tonight. I'm sorry. I might. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to, though. Maybe at the end of the show when I don't care. But, I played it last week. I don't like doubling up. But if I was, going to be Samson there, I'd probably double up. Just saying. Let's see here. Even the press secretary decided to say something about Illinois. And it was, well, she kind of got it backwards. I mean, and you'll understand why here in a second.
In gun safety news, Illinois has now become the 9th state across America to pass an assault bans weapon and take bold action to keep weapons of war off America's street.
Okay, first off, what the fuck did she just say?
In gun safety news, Illinois has now become the 9th state across America to pass an assault bans weapon and take...
What the fuck's an assault bans weapon? I got nothing. What is that? What the fuck is that? Exactly, JT. What is an assault bans weapon? Hey, Mike's on my side, guys. He says, fuck him, play more Slayer. That's my boy right there. Assault bans weapon. Yeah, that's a new one on me. Of course, her, again, saying weapons of war. They're not fucking weapons of war. They're semi-automatic. There's never been a single army on the planet that has ever fielded an AR-15 in battle. We'll just be clear about that. And no, I'm not going to give you a history lesson on the AR-15 or the M16 or whatever else, because we've already done that on multiple occasions. It gets kind of boring having to fucking repeat yourself. But yeah, assault bans weapon. I don't know. I got one. It's just, I got nothing. But anyhow, let's talk about the list of weapons that are banned by the new bill. First up, semi-automatic rifles that have the capacity to accept a detachable magazine or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine. That's tragic. I've got one right behind me. If the firearm has one or more, get this, wait for it, pistol grip or thumb hole stock. Any functioning feature functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by a non-trigger hand. So you're not allowed to make the firearm, I guess, comfortable. That's really sad because one behind me's got one. This is my favorite one. One of my favorite ones right here. A folding telescoping thumb hole or detachable stock, or a stock that is otherwise foldable or adjustable to help the weapon be more easily concealed. Does anybody know what the fucking collapsible stock is actually for? Does somebody want to tell them what that is? Because it sure is not going to make a fucking 16-inch barrel concealable. There's no gangsters running around, going, I'm going to push this stock in, put it in my shirt, and it's going to be completely concealed. There ain't a fucking... I, my friends, am 5'6" tall. Okay? Just to be clear. 5'6" tall. I'm a short guy. I have short arms. So what would be the benefit of having a collapsible stock for me? Just curious. We'll make sure this bad boy's clear. Chamber's empty. Okay. So they don't like this because it is ergonomically correct, which helps with my arm that's not, fully functional. And of course the stock, I mean, I wouldn't want to be able to, make it more comfortable and fit better. I wouldn't want that at all. I mean, because this thing right here, the whole 4 inches that it moves makes such a big difference that I conceal this in my pants. That's what they're saying. That this makes it easily concealable. They obviously don't know what the functionality of it actually is. But, oh wait, okay, let's get going. A flash suppressor. So, can anybody tell me what the purpose of a flash suppressor is? Because they're supposed to be illegal now, even though they are, commonplace on the majority of long rifles for a reason. But can anybody tell me what a flash suppressor is actually for? Because they made it illegal. I mean, the entire purpose of this bill is to render anything that we can use actually completely useless. But I'll wait. I know I got a delay. Exactly, Sean. Yeah, are they requesting our ARs in Ukraine? Not so much. Absolutely not. A collapsed stock is for cheek weld and improved aim, especially when you have short arms. I was issued one with that collapsible little piece on it because I have short arms. Yes, I'm T-Rex star, motherfucker. Don't forget it. You would like to see me try and hide that in my pants. Yeah, that's not obvious now. Because that's what this is for, so you can... Oh, yes. Makes a big difference in my shorts, doesn't it? I guess that's how it works, though. I mean, all the gangsters walk around in Chicago with this in their pants. That's what they do, and then they unfold the stock, so they can actually use it. That's what they do. Okay, but I'm still waiting on what a flash suppressor is. Can anybody tell me what a flash suppressor is for? Flash hider, flash suppressor, flash guard, whatever the fuck you want to call it. What's it for? Because it's deemed to be illegal because it's some sort of enhancement to make it more accurate when actually it's not really much to do with accuracy at all. And you're damn right, Drone. I'll wait just a little bit longer to get that answer, and then I'll just give you the answer. But I'd rather you answer it. Okay, fine. The purpose of a flash suppressor, also known as flash hider, flash guard, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is to guard the shooter from a significant portion of visible flash. In other words, you don't blind the guy using the fucking firearm. Thank you, Chris. It reduces the flash, but it redirects it. It doesn't necessarily reduce it, actually. It just redirects it, from where it's not right in your fucking eyeballs. But that's on the list. It's got to be gone. They got to get rid of it. It's so evil. Let's keep going. A grenade launcher. I don't have a grenade launcher. I was looking at the soda can launchers. They look kind of fun, but I don't necessarily wouldn't have a grenade launcher because you can't get the nades for it. That would be pointless. Here's another one of my favorite ones. This is great. A shroud that attaches to the barrel to allow someone to hold it with their non-trigger hand without being burned. So this thing, because Smart people generally don't grab a hot fucking barrel because they've just even if 1 or 2 rounds will make this hot enough to where you can't touch it. Why the fuck would you want to sit there and hold it? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I'll show you why. Okay, because you have that one there. Let's wait for it. That would also make Svetlana here illegal too. Svetlana is a 1943 Russian Mosin Nagant. And by golly, it's got something that would keep me from burning my fucking dick skinners when I'm firing it. So this would be illegal too. And guess what? 5-round bolt action, bitch. But it still fucking would be illegal because of that. Semi-automatic rifle with a mixed magazine that can accept 10 or more rounds except for an attached tubular device only capable of accepting 22 rimfire. They do realize that 22 is actually deadly and can still do damage. But apparently, you know, people smarter than us wrote this bill. I just want to know. I want to know what the fuck they're thinking because, you know, the whole grip thing. I keep looking at this. I keep looking at Svetlana here and going, you filthy Russian whore. Whatever. But since we're talking about the grip, since we can't have, you know, any sort of grip that's, you know, commonplace on basically every fucking firearm ever made so you don't burn your dick skinner or lady toucher. I'm sorry, there's women in the room. I apologize. But since you can't have that, I mean, I guess Governor Gravy Sweats there shouldn't have these because, you know, he should just reach right into the oven and grab that shit. Because, you know, according to his bill, you don't need these because it makes everything dangerous. And I guess us, you know, we shouldn't, us welders, I mean, we don't need gloves because, you know, we don't want to, no problem. Just burn your fucking hands. It's cool because the state of Illinois says that that's a bad thing. Well, what else was I going to call it? I'm not going to call it something like DJ Hero or something. I mean, you'll get that later. You'll understand it. But seriously, you know, a shroud that attaches to a barrel allows someone to hold it with a non-trigger hand without being burned. That is one of the dumbest fucking things in the bill, actually. I keep looking back at it. A semi-automatic pistol that can accept a detachable magazine or can be modified to an accept one if the firearm has one or more of the following. Wait for it. Because now my Walther P22 Target Edition is worthless. A threaded barrel. A second pistol grip that can be held by non-trigger hand. I don't know of many people that use a pistol like that, but that's cool. A shroud that attaches to the barrel allows someone to hold a non-trigger hand without being burned. See, we're constantly worried about whether or not you know, someone could worry about being burned. The flash suppressor, again. The ability to accept detachable magazines somewhere outside of the pistol grip. A device that allows the firearm to be fired from the shoulder. They're talking about the pistol braces. See, they had to change that because they kept calling them, you know, the bump stocks because they kept calling pistol braces bump stocks. The reason why we have pistol braces is because some people, like our veterans who have went to war and fucked up an arm or something like that, or even, you know, people that have had severe injuries and stuff like that and still like to shoot, they have to use these braces to keep them from losing control of their firearm. So now they're like, well, guess what? If you're disabled, fuck you. You don't need a gun anyway. That's exactly what they're saying right here. Right. Constitutionalist says, hey, for them to see the full flash before they hear the loud fucking crack from an unsuppressed rifle. Well, yeah, because we were told we can't have suppressors in the state of Illinois either because, you know, it makes them quiet. It makes them silent. They're too stupid to realize it just takes the edge off a little bit. It still makes a lot of noise. A folding or thumbhole stock grenade launcher. So how many grenade launchers can you fit on a, let's say, a Smith & Wesson You know, like a 9mm. Can you please tell me that? I'm waiting. I'll wait. How many of you have strapped a grenade launcher to your daily carry? I set my daily carry way over there, so I'm not going to grab it. Repeat what, JT? I said, how many of you with a sidearm attach a grenade launcher to that fucking thing? I mean, I know I've got one attached to my MMP9. I mean, I could hide a 40mm in my pants. The ability to accept detachable magazines wherever outside the pistol grip. We already said that. I don't know why it keeps repeating itself, but apparently they wanted to make sure that it got some of these in there good. Semi-automatic pistol with a fixed magazine that can accept more than 15 rounds, which is presumably all of them. Literally, all of them. Oh boy, here we go. Like I said, they keep adding this shit on more and more and more. Any shotgun with a revolving cylinder. A semi-automatic shotgun that has any of the following features: pistol grip or thumb hole stock. We don't want accuracy. We don't want comfortability. We don't want protection for the shooter. We just want a stick that goes bang. Any feature functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by a non-trigger hand. In other words, every single shotgun is now null and void because there's a fucking grip to where you can hold it without burning your hand. I'm seriously, I'm probably going to make another video making fun of this even further. I'm going to be honest with you. And there we go with the grenade launcher again. A fixed magazine capacity with more than 5 rounds. That's interesting as well. The ability to accept a detachable magazine. So everything that has a detachable magazine is now illegal, according to this shitty bill. And a semi-automatic firearm that accepts belt ammunition feeding device. I know man, here we go with the gangster shit again. I mean, we're running around with fucking 240 Bravos and shit. Any firearm that has been modified to work in any way described throughout this list. So everything that is around me, including a rifle that was built in 1941, is a no-no. Any part or combination or parts designed to convert a firearm to such a weapon through this list. It doesn't convert. None of these in this list converts them into anything. That's the fucking stupid shit about it. All the following rifles, copies, duplicates, variants, altered facsimiles, and made capable of listed in any weapon. Oh boy. Let's go for it. We got the list. You want to know exactly what they said that they were going to ban, that we're no longer allowed to have, buy, anything else like that? Any Kalashnikovs. AK, AK-47, AK-47S, AK-74, AKM, AKS, ARM, MAC-90, MISR, NHM-90, NHM-91, SA-85, SA-93, Vector Arms, AK-47 again, Vepr, the Wasser 10, the WM, Ismash Sega, Matty AK-47, can't forget that one. Norinkos, all of them. Poly Technologies, SKSs with detachable magazines. Armalite types including AR-10, AR-15, Alexander Arms Overmatch Plus 16, Armalite M15 22 long rifle. Now, they just said a little while ago that you could have a 22 long rifle, but now you can't have it because it might be in the scary shape of an AR. Ooga booga booga. Question. How many Barretts have you seen on the gangster side of things or the criminal side of things? How many criminal crimes have we known that used a Barrett 50 cal? Very funny, wise ass. I carry a grenade launcher, but it makes babies. Oh, Bushmaster ACR, Bushmaster Carbon 15, yeah, Chiappa, Devil Dog Arms. See, they just went, what they did is they sat there on the computer and like, we need to look up these AR-15s. We need to find out what brands make them. When there's so many variants, we should just start writing the names down and then it'll be fine. Oh boy, the MGI Hydra series. That's awesome. Mossberg Tacticals, Olympic Arms. I hate to tell them this, but Olympic went out of business because they make shitty firearms. Like literally, these New York police officers dumped all their Olympic arms at the doorstep of Olympic because they were horribly inaccurate and jammed a lot and shit. Precision Firearms, Remington, Rhino Arms, Rock River, Sig Sauer, Smith & Wesson, Stag Arms, Sturm Ruger, Uselton, Wyndham. Wow, they went down the thing. Barrett again, more Barretts. Yankee Hill Machinery. Holy shit. I mean, this list just keeps going on. When's the last time you guys went running around with a Thompson submachine gun? I'm curious. I got to know. It's all unconstitutional. It's all stupid. And the problem is you can't tell stupid people that this is a stupid bill. Trust me, I've tried for the last 3 days on like Newsbreak and shit like that to get through to some people. But they're the ones that tell us that our only goal to having one is that we're murderers. And we want to murder a lot of people. That's their biggest go-to. And weapons of war don't need to be in the hands of average civilians because all they want to do is kill a bunch of people. I'm still waiting for that Thompson submachine gun. How do you legally fight this back before they come for you? You don't. No, we do. And we're already working on that. We'll be talking about that in a minute about the governors. Oh, wow. I'm just skimming the list now because there's way too many. Way too many to list. Let's see. Wilkinson Arms. Hugo Krebs Crank Pistol. Bushmaster Carbon 15. Daniel Defense MK18. Uselton Arms. Calico Pistols. Oh. I've never seen a single person that I know of, even in the gun culture, that has a Galil, but that's cool. They'll put it on the list. Mac 10, Mac 11, useless firearms that you can only shoot at about 20 feet. They're fucking retarded anyway, so they don't need them. I mean, they don't. It's not that they don't need them. They're worthless. I wouldn't buy them. Same thing. They don't realize that Mac 10 and Mac 11 is an Uzi or an Uzi derivative, whatever. Striker 12. How many strikers do we have out there? Seriously, this is the shit that's in the list. I want to send this to everybody, but I'm seriously going to make more and more fun of this list. Yeah, so basically all guns. It's the insane amount of unconstitutionality. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Illinois has 102 counties, okay? 102. How many do you think of right now that their sheriffs said they will not comply with this order? How many counties do you think actually followed suit with that as of right now? There's 102 counties in Illinois. Take a guess. Well, I got one guess at 80. Who else is going to take a guess? 102 counties. How many do you think have already signed up saying fuck you to the governor? To Governor Gravy Sweats, the king of California. Too far. Angie said 98. JT says 88. It is 86. 86 counties have now told the governor via their sheriffs that they will not comply. Yes, the H&K is on the list too, Mike, and I'm sorry I didn't see your comment. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a Thompson too, but for nostalgia purposes, because I'm a, war historian, and I love that firearm. Nothing other than that. I just want it for historical purposes, but, whatever. Yeah, 86 of them so far, and I heard that they're climbing. You might actually be close to right about that. I believe right as of now, I mean, Lake County, Cook County, Will County, obviously the clusterfuck of north is still holding on. I know Champaign County and I think Morgan County is still saying, still hasn't said anything. But pretty much the entire map of Illinois right now is blood red saying go fuck yourself. And by the way, if you ever see the map with the stars on it, that also means that their state's attorneys said fuck you too. Now, Maynard, you'd be surprised. The entire state is red minus like 16 of them. And I was right. I just brought the map up. I was right. Lake County, Cook County, Will County, of course, in that cluster. Together, they have not. Stark County, Warren County, Mason County, Champaign County, Morgan County. I said Morgan County and Champaign County. I didn't notice Jersey was on the list. Effingham County, Jasper, Jackson, Gallatin, Hardin, Pope, and whatever the fuck that one is down there, Alexander. But that's as of earlier today, so I don't know if it's been updated. But given the list and what exactly they're saying they're wanting to ban and everything else like that, what do you guys actually think of that? I mean, we already went through the attachments and everything else. What do you think of that? I mean, this right here to me it's a standard capacity. This is what came with my rifle. It's actually the very magazine that came with the rifle. Well, there's a way to do that, but I don't know how to do that. So, no, I won't be overlaying the map because I don't know how to do that. Jared does, but he didn't answer his phone earlier. Oh, dude, I think I figured it out. Nope, I didn't. I don't know what I did. Okay, I won't be doing that again. I don't know what that is. JT says it's bloody insanity. They all want weapons banned because they don't understand anything and don't wish to. Precisely. Not going to argue with that. You're not wrong there. There's a reason why we call him Governor Gravy Sweats. Constitutionalist says, personal lawsuit against the tyrannical politicians might prevent this shit. Make fat ass pay out of his pocket. Like it a lot. 87 and counting. I said 86. My apologies. I'm trying to find a song for break, so excuse me. Don't say it, because it's not going to happen. But I'm looking for a song to play for break, just not the one. I'm feeling this one. Well, before I go to break here, Maynard says he's a billionaire. Pretty sure his fat ass can afford it. He's a trust fund billionaire. Wait until Gravy Sweats is installed as president. I highly doubt that. He wouldn't even be able to. He wouldn't even be able to take the walk to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, let alone make it to the Oval Office without passing out. Yeah. But Maynard, let's say that every gun shop in the state of Illinois gets on this lawsuit. All the politicians that opposed it get on this lawsuit. All the sheriffs that opposed it get on this lawsuit. And then all of us gun owners get on this lawsuit. It is going to be far too painful for him to deal with. And I sure as fuck hope it goes that way. But I hope we put the pressure on them and they just give up. I doubt they will because they're progressively stupid. Progressives. But you know what? I'm going to take a quick break. I hope you like this one. How does that not get you motivated? That is some straight up fucking motivational shit. I love that song. I mean, it just, you know,
They want to fuck on the floor and break shit.
That's right. That it does. But remember, you know, the whole time we've been talking, I know you guys are educated. I'm well educated as well. So we already know we know quite a bit more about this than they do because, well, we live it. This is what we do. For those of you who don't know that are just now joining us, and those of you who are new to the show, I did spend several years as a state coordinator for a gun rights organization. I did have my hand in the process to get concealed carry in the state of Illinois, and I have been all over the place doing speaking engagements and stuff like that. I've done a lot of research into this stuff. I've even faced down Mr. Dick Durbin himself more than once. So there's that. But, I mean, I know you guys know what we're talking about and everything, but they think that we're just this. They honestly do. They believe we're just this.
You fucking ho dunk, po dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
They don't believe that you have an IQ above 75. They don't believe that you know how to read. They don't believe that you know anything about firearms. They don't believe that you know anything about the Second Amendment or what it entails. They're wrong, aren't they? I know. Delay. I'm waiting. I mean, that does make sense, though, constitutionalist, doesn't it? I mean, he says the 5.56 is a 22 caliber with 30 rounds of standard capacity. Yeah, the tube on the 22 long rifle. Same fucking deal, only just not removable. That's the only difference. Maynard wins. Maynard wins. He says what it boils down to is they know 90% of people won't do shit about it. They will blindly comply. I've been dealing with those comments all day long. Well, you know, even with people from out of state telling me, well, you know, I guess you guys are screwed, you know, so you need to register this and do this and do that. And I was like, I don't need to do fucking dick. Because I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this, you know, and with the lawsuits. I'm going to be making a lot of phone calls. I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews with sheriffs and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of little videos popping up left and right. This is not going to end. They have pissed me off. They have brought me out of retirement. I did not want to do the gun rights thing anymore as much as I did. But I guess now, because of this, I'm back, baby. I will not rest on this. And I hope that everybody, I know at least you guys will, but I hope everybody within earshot of me right now does the same thing. I hope you're making the phone calls. I hope you're sending the emails. I hope you're going to the offices and putting pressure on them. I hope you're signing up for the lawsuits. I hope you're getting a hold of your sheriffs and even your local PDs and stuff like that. I hope you're doing all this. I really do. There's not really that many places to sign up as of yet, JT, but there will be, and I will keep everybody informed on that, I promise you. I'm already talking to a couple of lawyers that are seriously considering going pro bono and taking this fight. And of course, Governor Gravy Sweats there had to say something. Governor Fat Bastard had to come out and say something about this, about the pushback. Pritzker actually threatened to fire police for not enforcing Illinois gun ban. Newsflash, numbnuts. You can't actually do that. That is not in your scope of power, you fat prick. The governor cannot fire a county sheriff for refusing to carry out an order. The governor has no power to remove a sheriff because we elected him. So have a nice big helping of my nuts. Comply like in Connecticut in 2013. The governor now is saying the grandfathering of the firearms needs to be repealed. I don't have the Connecticut shit up here, but I know what you're talking about. I just don't have a lot of it on here, and I'd have to do a refresher. My apologies. We need to organize 1 million AR Mars. No, we don't need to do that. That would not help us, okay? That would not help at all. Having thousands of people walking down the streets with ARs and a show of force would only make things worse for us. I guarantee it. That I can't sign on for. I can sign on for filling the rotunda again. We did that. We had so many people there one year for iGold that we not only filled the rotunda, we filled up the upper stairs, upper concourses, and was outside. We had that place locked down. There was so many of us that you couldn't even walk through the building. That is what I want to see again. Red Fox. Complying by registering may offer a small delay, but ultimately it will lead to full-on confiscation, which is the reason why I will not do it. That's the whole plan, is they want to know exactly where they're at all times so they can take them from you. This is a power grab. And I'm not signing on for it. I'm going to fight it. Nothing in the county has more power than a sheriff except the coroner. This is true. That is absolutely truthful. The thing is, this governor doesn't want to talk to anybody outside of his office. He wants his progressive yes men, jerking him off all day long. He doesn't want to talk to us. I've tried to talk to him. I've reached out to him on multiple occasions, including going to his office, and not once has he ever stood face to face with me, and he won't. Because I would probably respond to him like this as soon as he turned his back on me.
Get your fat ass back here.
I mean, the guy is...
Lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is!
Is there any more truthful description than that? No, he actually said this earlier today. As are all law... he said... I'm going to start over. Fuck me. My brain shorted. After several Illinois law enforcement agents says they won't enforce the new gun ban, Pritzker had a strong response: comply or hit the road. As are all law enforcement all across our state, they will in fact do their job, or they won't be in their job. He's swinging a dick that he ain't got. He declared his dick legally dead years ago. He hasn't fucking seen it, but that's besides the point. He's swinging them fucking nuts around, and he doesn't realize that he's wrong. He can't get rid of a sheriff. He has no power. Well, this is a whole new level of tyranny, but yes, gun confiscation would be way worse, but it's exactly what they want to do. They think that people, this is what they're going for, okay? What they want is compliance, and it's not forced compliance. They just want complete compliance. They're like, oh, well, there's a new law, so I'm going to go register my firearms again because they're already registered because we live in Illinois and we have a fucking FOID card, and when we buy one, we have to fill out a 4473 form. But we want to register it again because Governor Gravy Sweats, the King of California, said so. Yeah, the sheriff can go around deputizing the hell out of people. This is true. JT says, does he realize the sheriff can raise a militia to deal with that? Well, not necessarily a militia, but he can raise a whole bunch of deputies. He can deputize anybody he wants. It's in his power. And Maynard, you're right. Sheriff is voted in, can only be repealed by the people. Absolutely. Yeah, I saw that earlier when he was complaining about that. Well, we'll fire him and rah, do this, do that. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. I'm not going to lie, because I didn't see this coming. Our sheriff, the Christian County sheriff, is on the list of saying, I will not comply. I will not arrest people. I will not do this. And it's beautiful. But there's some out there, and obviously, I don't really trust many people either. But there's people out there, don't trust the law enforcement. They're lying to you, and they'll bend over as soon as the first chance they get. I have never seen, and this is in my lifetime with anything, so many fucking sheriffs say no. Never. I have never seen it. Not in any other state. This is the first time I have seen, out of 102 counties, 87, thank you for correcting me because I thought it was 86, 87 counties say, fuck you. I have never seen it. And I've never seen states' attorneys actually put their asses out there and go, nope, not going to happen, not going to prosecute them. And from what I heard, I don't have any information on it in front of me, so I can't say it's true. But from what I heard, there's a shit ton of judges saying the same thing, that we will not prosecute, we will not do this. We will not issue orders, or issue judgments on that. Nope, we will not. And there are some state representatives that are on board. Representative Willauer, I know, he says we will not comply with the unconstitutional gun law. He's from Vandale, I think he's a Vandale. I don't know where he's from, actually. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. What they want you to do when you actually, comply and give them the serial number, they have to put it on your FOID card. That's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to put that number on the FOID card so they know what rifle you have. Boy, they'd be fucked up if they some of my buddies, because I got like 10, 15 of these fucking things. So the FOID card would be about, like a sheet of paper. Your map and the one I saw was way off, so obviously I had the wrong info. No, I gave you the maps as I got them. That's what I did, JT. I know, he declared his dick legally dead 10, probably 20 years ago. I know, Maynard. I get it. But like Will already said, he said, shredding our Constitution is not the answer. Illinois already has some of the toughest gun laws in the nation, and the violence is in too many places in our state is completely out of control. I contend, as I have often, that we really want to solve the violence problem in the state. We should solve the opportunity problem. Let's dig in and meaningfully talk about the culture of violence, broken families, hopelessness, and addiction that are raging in our communities and leading our young people to violence. Oh, well, sorry. I know one of them that I sent was off because so many of them jumped on board today. You'll find no arguments with me, constitutionalist. Absolutely. Do you think he broke into his pocket chicken already? Because I'm pretty sure he probably did. I mean, I got in trouble for saying that Governor Gravy Sweats, the King of California, used his chicken oiled mitts to sign draconian law. I got yelled at for that. So, well, I can't say show of hands because you guys aren't on camera, but tell me, how many of you think we should just go ahead and let this happen and comply and let them re-register? And I said that for a reason, re-register our firearms, put them on our FOID cards, and basically track us like pedophiles, and tell us that everything that we own is technically illegal in their eyes. How many people do you think should not fight this? How many people think that we shouldn't stay in the fight, that we shouldn't do this, that we shouldn't do the lawsuits or get a hold of everybody? I just wonder, how many? Will any of you say, well, you know what, the big scary beast known as the state of Illinois, the governor and stuff like that, they're so scary that I'm just going to automatically comply? Will you? Will any of you? Well, we have a fuck that, and I will not comply. That's two of you. But I want to know, is there anybody here that would say, you know what, let's just let them do it, because we can't fight them. They're the big scary beast, and there's nothing that we can do. We're powerless. Because that's what they think. They think that we're powerless. They think that we're all cowards. They think that we won't face them down in court, that we won't argue about this until our dying breath, that we won't protect our rights. I mean, they're trying to turn law-abiding citizens, many of us, the majority of us actually, especially the majority of gun owners, into felons and criminals overnight. That's what they want to do. Court first, otherwise, if necessary, we choose the field of battle. Well, no, they chose it for us. They wrote a law, so we have to fight it in the courts. We have to put a lot of pressure on representatives and senators alike. We have to put pressure on the governor. We have to put pressure on just about everybody, states attorneys and everything. We go, look, we need your, this is not going to happen. We want to continue this fight. We want to protect our rights. That's what we need to do. All right. Well, is there anything else you guys want to add? Because I think we went through pretty much everything. I think we're at least I'm done for the night. Is there anything else you want to add? We've been on for 2 hours. I'm not playing Nancy tonight. I'll get you a copy of Nancy, but I'm not playing Nancy tonight. I told you that. Motherfucker. No Nancy. No Nancy. Absolutely, Red. You know damn well. You know it, sir. But that being said, I do believe I am done for the night. I've got a few things that I've got to do tonight anyway. I'm going to be making a list of, I mean, I got questions. I'm going to make a list of questions. I am going to be interviewing some people and putting them out there. So you guys know how to get a hold of me. You can go to the Machine Radio Show Facebook. You can catch me on Twitter. You can catch me just about everywhere. Get a hold of me. We'll get together and we'll get this going. Yeah, addiction is a problem, but they decriminalize most drugs. I am not going to fucking argue with that at all. The pharmaceutical industry is a very big example of it. But anyhow, that being said, I am going to be out of here for tonight as soon as I do the smart thing and I don't know, put my outro on the screen because I forgot to do that. Absolutely, Christina. Long live the Republic, and I'll fight for it till my dying breath. I've been in this for over, I don't even want to say how long, because then I'd give away my age. But, all right. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining me. All the longtime listeners that have been with me since the beginning. All the new listeners from earlier, all the new listeners now. All the new subscribers and stuff like that. Get the word out there. Tell people about us. Okay, word of mouth is the best thing ever. You notice we do have a good time. We do get angry, but we do have a good time on this show, and we love talking with you. We're very interactive, so let's do this. Let's get everybody on board. But thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I am out of here.